So I know you're all here for Mike. So it's like buying Elvis Presley tickets, and I'm like the warm up band. So I'll make it kind of brief. Anyway, everyone seems to grow tomatoes. I think it's the number one crop that people grow in their, gardens and raised beds and stuff like that. So, a couple things about tomatoes. There's indeterminate and determinate, so you got to figure out which one you want. And determinate is pretty much all the tomatoes ripen at the same time. The bush has already been determined on the growth, so it doesn't get real tall or anything. They stay a little shorter. And it's great if you want to can, because you don't want, you want all your tomatoes to be ripe at the same time. Indeterminate is, the tomato plants, some of them get 10 feet tall, and you got to figure out what kind of structure you're going to have for that. And you'll have tomatoes all season, though, so you can just keep eating off of it and eating off of it and eating off of it. We had one out back here that lasted into Christmas. We had our Christmas trees in, and it was still growing out there, so they do real well. So we sell a couple of these. Louder? Okay. I don't know. So we sell a couple of these little. Where's that other one? There we go. These two cherry tomatoes. One's a Sun Sugar and one's a Super Sweet 100. And these are, they say they take the place of candy bowls. You can keep them around in your kitchen and just snack off them, and they're really sweet. Really a lot of sugar in them. Then a couple other varieties. We have Roma, which it's great for sauces and stuff, but I like them for sandwiches because they don't have as much juice and stuff in them. Your bread doesn't get all soggy. Let's see. And we have a couple varieties of heirloom tomatoes. And heirlooms are good. Obviously they've been around a long time, but they have a few more problems. The reason these are hybrided and improved is because that's what they are. They're more disease resistant. They don't need as much care. So if you grow a heirloom, you're gonna have to do a little bit more work with it. And just everybody knows Heinz ketchup, right? They use heirloom tomatoes in their field. So they have a Heinz tomato, and they use the same tomato. They've been using it ever since they started. So a couple things on what you're going to need for tomatoes is a good fertilizer, high in calcium, and then it's not only the calcium you need to distribute the calcium through the plant. So when you water your tomato plant, they like to be watered at the same time. They want the same amount of water at the same time of day, usually in the morning, and it distributes your calcium better, so you don't get the blossom end rot as much. I'll tell you a little bit about this tomato tone. This is from Espoma. And a little bit about Espoma is they're a farm that runs totally on solar power. And they have all their organic products. We have a whole wall of them for every kind of plant you can imagine. And the measurement for tomato tone or plant tone or whatever you use there, you just grab a handful and throw it in. It's pretty easy. When you plant a tomato, what you want to do is this one I'd probably put in the ground about halfway. So you just don't put them in the surface, and you take off all these branches and stuff, and then put it in about halfway, and what that'll do is it'll shoot roots out all along this stem, and you'll get a much stronger tomato. And as your tomato grows, what you want to do is just get yourself a little set of pruners or scissors, and keep cutting the bottom branches off, and the ones that are all shaded, because you're just wasting the plant's energy with those. And tomatoes are highly susceptible to soil-borne diseases. So the higher you keep the branches off the surface of the dirt, when you're watering it or the rain comes, it splashes the dirt up on the leaves. It has more of a chance to get a disease. And the real pest with tomatoes is that big caterpillar. If you've ever grown tomatoes, it comes out with horns and everything. It's real easy though. It's a oh boy, Bacillus. Yeah, thuringiensis. Yes, or BT or something like that. It'll take care of those caterpillars just like that. It's just a bacteria, and it's doesn't hurt anybody except caterpillars. It's really lethal, and it's kind of fun to kill those things. Let's see, and other popular plants in the garden are, of course, peppers, hot peppers, bell peppers, and squash. And a good tip for squash is once these start growing and the leaves get really big, if there's leaves covering the main stem, clip those off and just let the leaves that are pointing out stay on there. Because if you get a lot of leaf coverage in the center of that plant, it tends to get fungus and stuff. Okra, you just throw this out there and it kind of grows, and it's about all you have to do with it. It's pretty easy. This is oregano. It's a good herb to grow. It's hardy. Takes a lot of cold weather. A lot of them are evergreen, and you mix it with your tomatoes, and you can make some sauces and stuff. Well, that's about all I got.
Any questions? Yes.
Well, you talk about herbs and all that. Which is best for bugs? Keep bugs away.
Well, citronella would be good. You can plant that around your garden. Marigolds work. It's not an herb, but it works. Let's see. Lemongrass, and then you can use that like when you cook fish and stuff. You can add some lemongrass in with your fish, gives it that lemon taste. So you can use that as well as it helps keep mosquitoes and other bugs away. Yes. Yeah. It'll say on the tag.
They're indeterminate.
Yeah.
So that means it grows on you, is that what?
Yeah, most of them are indeterminate. But it'll tell you on every tag that you look on, it'll tell you if it's indeterminate or determinate. Yeah.
I'm looking for an evergreen shrub that can sustain a wet area. Do you have any ideas?
An evergreen shrub that can sustain, is it sunny or shady?
Half and half.
Half and half. Morning, which one?
Morning sun.
Yeah, you're right. Inkberry, and if it's not the afternoon sun, you could get away with some podocarpus.
Cottonwood axillaris, you have that? Little feather bush, little white flowers.
We do. We have it. Let's see. We got burning love. We got little flame. A couple other varieties. Yeah, yeah. Are we? You sponsoring this?
No, I'm sorry.
You whisper in my ear.
Catherine is selling her honey today.
No, that's a gift. That's a gift.
Any other questions that you might have?
Don't touch my.
There's no question with Dean up here.
It's good honey.
Do you have other questions besides besides just what you grow in the garden, this is the time to ask. Yes.
Ah, hey, how are you? Good.
I know, I believe you have a class specifically on hydrangeas, but I had one question about the problem with persistent fungus on hydrangeas. Is there something systemic that you can give to them rather than spraying and spraying and spraying?
There is we have a fungicide there you can mix with water, and pour it in the roots, and it'll soak it up so you don't have to spray it, and it'll last like 6 months. Yeah, hydrangeas are real susceptible to fungus, except Dr. Dirr's.
Don't say that.